How you doing, Cali Crowd? Welcome back to the channel that makes calisthenics simple. Off the back of my frog to handstand tutorial, it appears that many people are trying to master the first step of that journey, the frog stand. But off the back of the comments and the questions, there appears to be so many issues with navigating this skill that has so many benefits to handstand and planche work. So on my channel's community tab and on Instagram, I asked for your clips to see if I could provide more tailored help and assist you in a way that was a little bit more hands-on than a YouTube tutorial. Today we'll be switching things up and taking a look at the clips that you have sent in, taking a look at how you can get the most out of the frog stand hold, any mistakes you're making, anything great that you're doing that you need to double down on, and maybe get you to a point where you might not even just be able to master the frog stand, but even progress it to more advanced variations. And because I've never done this type of video below, I would love to hear your feedback and hear what you're thinking. Let me know down in the comments below. I reply to every single comment, and if you like it, maybe I'll review some more clips of you training and doing calisthenics skills in the future. Okay, so try to sequence these videos in order of skill level so that the advice that I give at the beginning will hold true straight through to the end. This also means that as you watch the video, you can find the clip that's probably most tailored to where you're at and your skill level and lean on that advice as well, and maybe even get a look into what the future may hold for you as well as you start to progress your frog stand holds. So let's get into it with the first video, and we have Maurice, so let's take a look. So I have a couple first impressions on Maurice's video. First of all, he's nailed the elbow position. We can see him actually push for that external rotation. He's also gripping the ground with his fingertips. This is going to be really great for balance. And even though he's not quite there yet, we can see he's trying to get the hips high. Now, we can tell he's a little bit apprehensive about attempting the frog stand. Let's just whiz that back to the beginning a little bit. He spent a fair amount of time psyching himself up to get into the frog stand. Nothing wrong with that, but just in case this is happening in your training, Maurice, we really want to get those quality reps in. So just make sure you're taking really big breaks between your frog stand holds, especially when you're new to this skill. It's also fair to say that he struggles with the frog stand hold, so definitely scale this back to a basic frog stand where we keep the feet on the floor in that frog stand position and look to hold that basic frog stand for about 15 to 20 seconds before moving on to the frog stand proper. I have a full tutorial on how to perform the frog stand. Link will be down in the description below. So Maurice, I really hope this helped you out, man. Next up, we have Sai. Let's take a look at her video. Now, first thing to flag from Sai's video is that she's doing the frog stand on a soft surface. The moment you do any form of hand balancing on a surface that your hands and fingers sink into, you're making this harder for yourself. This goes for any form of pressing, to be honest. If you don't believe me, go and do 5 push-ups on a hard floor, then go and do 5 push-ups on a bed and tell me which one was harder. But coming back to you, Sai, you seem to have a really decent frog stand hold. Just make life easier for yourself by doing it on a hard floor. She actually sent me another clip, which was a slightly better angle, and I could see the hips a little bit more, and I really wanted to know what was going on there. And as you can see, that Sai's hips are high, but they're slightly further back than you'd like. Now, this won't be an issue for mastering the frog stand. We can already see that she can hold a good frog stand for a decent amount of time, but where this might become a little bit of an issue is if it comes to progressing the frog stand in the future. By having your hips slightly further back, you're actually increasing the range of motion to getting into an advanced frog stand. Now, if we zoom in here a little bit, we can see that she actually seems to have a lot of pressure of the knees on the back of the arms. The short-term fix for this is actually leaning more into overbalance and getting more of the weight over the center of the hands. What this will do is relieve some of the pressure off the back of the arms, but in the longer term, and arguably a better fix, it is to just get stronger. Now, that sounds annoyingly simple, right? Let me be a little bit more specific. By working on exercises like the Pike push-up, we can get stronger in overhead bent arm pressing, which means in the frog stand, we can use our triceps not just as a platform, but as a counterforce to the downward pressure of our weight on the back of our arms. I of course have a tutorial that you can check out on the Pike push-up and its progressions that will also be linked down below. But Sai, otherwise, great frog stand, keep it going, hope the tips help you out. Okay, in the next video, we have Noor. Let's take a good look at her clip. Another great frog stand. Interestingly, you've positioned ahead of a small step. I'm assuming this is intentional to protect you from falling forwards straight onto your face. It is actually really important for beginners. Some beginners use really massive cushions. Nobody wants to face plant the floor. But what I will say, Note, is that I actually think such a safety crutch isn't needed anymore with a frog stand as good as this, and it might actually be affecting you detrimentally, if I'm honest. It's giving you the perception of being close to the ground, which means you're not as far forward as you probably would like to be, and the weight actually seems to be more onto the heels of your hands as opposed to the ideal point, that underside of your knuckles. This means that you're spending a lot of time fighting underbalance, fighting falling backwards, which is actually really, really difficult. I'd suggest swapping the step for a thin yoga mat in front of you, giving you the same sort of protection from falling forward. I don't really think you're going to be in a position to fall forward. Your frog stand holder is pretty decent. And to give you even more confidence as to not falling forward, I suggest you work on your finger strength. I have a video that can teach you how to deal with overbalance or falling forwards with a simple exercise. And you can use this to supplement your frog stand training and really nail that balance point in your frog stands and take that frog stand to a higher level. Once you've mastered that, keep going with it. No, you're almost there. That is a solid frog stand. And I hope that feedback gives you a little bit more confidence. Next, we've got Luang. And Luang, honestly, not really much to say here. Really solid frog stand. You've asked how to progress it to a frog to handstand. So if I have to give one piece of feedback, it would be in this arch in the spine. This won't really adversely affect your frog stand holds that much, but having this much spinal flexion will make advanced frog stands and frog to handstands a lot harder, as these both require a far more neutral spine. Now, with the frog stand, there may always be a little bit of spinal flexion. We are crouched up, to be fair, but try to reduce it as much as there is in this clip. Keep grafting, Luang. You'll get there very, very soon. Finally, we have MA. Let's take a look at this clip. This is a perfect calisthenics frog stand if ever I saw one. Hips in line with the hands, weight seems to be over the knuckles too. Now, he's cheated a little bit, and this was actually the first clip he sent me a week earlier, but he's made a lot of progress in the short time between the two videos. This is the frog stand that you should be looking for if your goal is to progress to advanced frog stand variations or frogs to handstands. Now, with the hips this high, lifting the legs becomes an absolute cakewalk, and pressing out with the arms from this position becomes more a matter of strength than it is body balance when you're pushing out diagonally with your hips behind you. What I will say is this position is clearly quite taxing on you, but I don't think it will actually take you that long to turn this into a really quality hold time. Look to get this frog stand to about 15 to 20 seconds, as I said before. Supplement this hold with maybe some pike push-ups or some advanced pike push-ups if you can wrangle that. It wouldn't surprise me from what I can see here if you could do those. MA, you'll be springing into handstands in no time. Keep going, man, and I'm excited to see where you go from here. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you thought about this sort of video. If you want me to review any other types of calisthenics training clips or calisthenics skills, let me know down in the comments. And crowd, I'll see you in the next one.